Sales representative interview. How to pass a sales interview.
Good morning. Thanks for coming in today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about your experience in sales?
Of course, I've been working in sales for the past 5 years. I started as a sales associate and eventually worked my way up to a sales manager position. In my current role, I'm responsible for managing a team of sales associates and meeting monthly sales targets.
That's great. Can you tell us about a time when you had to overcome a sales challenge?
Sure, there was a time when we were struggling to meet our sales targets for a particular product line. I decided to organize a sales training session for my team to improve their product knowledge and sales techniques. We also reached out to existing customers to gather feedback on the product and made some improvements based on their suggestions. These efforts paid off, and we were able to exceed our sales targets for that product line.
Excellent problem-solving skills. How do you approach building relationships with clients?
I believe in taking a personalized approach to building relationships with clients. I take the time to understand their unique needs and preferences, and I try to tailor my communication style and sales approach accordingly. I also make sure to follow up regularly to maintain a strong and ongoing relationship.
Great.
Yes, there was a customer who was unhappy with our product and was demanding a refund. I remained calm and empathetic, and I listened to their concerns. I offered a solution that addressed their concerns and worked with them to find a resolution that was satisfactory for both parties.
Great, so, can you give us an example of how you approach cold calling?
Definitely. When it comes to cold calling, I believe in doing thorough research on the company and the decision maker I'll be speaking with before making the call. This helps me to personalize my pitch and tailor it to their specific needs. I also believe in being persistent but respectful and always following up with any promises or commitments made during the call.
Excellent. Can you tell us about a time when you had to work with a challenging team member or supervisor?
Absolutely. In my previous position, I had a supervisor who was very demanding and often critical of my work. I found it challenging to work with them at first, but I realized that the best approach was to stay calm and professional and to focus on finding solutions to the issues at hand. I made an effort to communicate more clearly with my supervisor and to seek their feedback and input on my work. I also tried to build a more positive relationship with them by finding common ground and showing appreciation for their contributions to the team. Over time, we were able to improve our working relationship and work together more effectively. I learned that sometimes it takes patience and effort to build a positive working relationship, but it's always worth it in the end.
That's a great example of how to work through challenging situations. Can you tell us about a time when you had to adapt your sales approach to meet the needs of a specific customer or market?
Yes, certainly. In my previous role, we were targeting a new market segment that had different needs and preferences from our existing customer base. I had to adapt my sales approach to better meet their needs and to communicate the value of our product in a way that resonated with them. I did this by conducting market research and customer interviews to better understand their needs and preferences. I also worked with our product development team to make some modifications to our product to better meet the needs of this new market segment. Finally, I adjusted my sales approach to better align with the needs and preferences of this new market segment, using more targeted messaging and demonstrating the specific benefits of our product for their unique needs. As a result of these efforts, we were able to successfully penetrate this new market segment and generate significant sales growth.
That's a great example of how to adapt and succeed in a new market. Can you give us an example of a successful sales campaign you have led?
Definitely. In my previous position, I was responsible for launching a new product line for our company. I developed a targeted marketing campaign that included social media ads, email marketing, and outreach to our existing customer base. I also organized a product launch event where we invited industry experts and potential customers to learn more about the product. As a result of these efforts, we were able to exceed our sales targets for the new product line within the first 6 months of its launch.
That's impressive. It sounds like you have a lot of experience in sales and a track record of success. So can you share with us a little bit about your approach to setting and achieving sales targets?
Sure. I believe that setting realistic and achievable sales targets is essential for success. I like to break down larger sales goals into smaller, more manageable targets that can be tracked and measured on a regular basis. I also believe in regularly reviewing progress towards these targets and making adjustments as necessary to stay on track.
Thank you for sharing your insights. It sounds like you have a solid approach to sales and building relationships with potential customers. And can you tell us about a time when you had to work with a challenging team member or supervisor?
Absolutely. In my previous position, I had a supervisor who was very demanding and often critical of my work. I found it challenging to work with them at first, but I realized that the best approach was to stay calm and professional and to focus on finding solutions to the issues at hand. I made an effort to communicate more clearly with my supervisor and to seek their feedback and input on my work. I also tried to build a more positive relationship with them by finding common ground and showing appreciation for their contributions to the team. Over time, we were able to improve our working relationship and work together more effectively. I learned that sometimes it takes patience and effort to build a positive working relationship, but it's always worth it in the end.
That's a great example of how to work through challenging situations. So how do you stay persistent and resilient in the face of rejection?
Staying persistent and resilient in the face of rejection can be challenging, but there are a few strategies that can help, like keeping a positive mindset. It's important to maintain a positive attitude and believe in yourself, even when facing rejection. Plus, I reframe rejection, which means instead of viewing rejection as a personal failure, I try to reframe it as an opportunity to learn and grow. It can be emotionally draining, so I must take breaks when I needed to recharge and refocus. However, I stay organized and I keep track of my progress and set clear goals for myself. This will help me stay on track and feel more in control of the situation.
That's impressive. Lastly, what do you think are the most important qualities of a successful sales representative?
I believe that being a good listener, having strong communication skills, being persistent and resilient, having a positive attitude, and being able to build strong relationships are all important qualities for a successful sales representative.
Thank you for your time today. We will be in touch with you soon regarding our decision.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited about the possibility of joining your team and contributing to your sales efforts. Please let me know if you have any further questions or if there's anything else I can provide to support my application.
We will be in touch soon regarding our decision.